everybody who is involved in it, teachers, students and parents. For teachers, the main benefit is the exchange of good practices among the schools, to see how teachers work in another country, in another education system is quite eye-opening, and it gives us a chance to see our work differently and to maybe try to integrate the good things that we saw in the lessons that we visited during our trips abroad, to take these good things and implement them into our work. It has also been a great help with written and oral English skills. Talking with people in English and trying to work on common goals is, I think, the best way to learn the language. And I have seen an increase in the teachers' desire to learn the language also. And for students, this project gave an opportunity to see the world in a bit of a different light, to see how people live in other countries and maybe to understand that we are not as different as we once thought that we are. The students improved their English very significantly. As I remember, almost everybody was a little bit afraid at first to talk in English, to communicate their thoughts, but at the end of the week, everybody was speaking, everybody was having fun, enjoying their conversations, and our students learned that they do have the ability to talk and write in English, and that their knowledge is quite big. And about the parents, I can say that this project gives their children a safe platform to see the world, to travel, to learn about things that we may not talk about in everyday life. And they don't have a chance to learn about these things in everyday surroundings. And we do it in a safe way with teachers overseeing this process. And for parents, I think it is a big relief to give a chance to their kids to explore the world, but do it in a safe manner.
Самое главное, это вообще совершенно новый опыт. Проект – это новый опыт. Участие, общение с людьми из разных стран. Это мы увидели жизнь за границей, как также наши коллеги живут, учителя, как живут ученики, как устроена система образования. И как бы приехав, привезя опыт сюда, мы что-то можем добавить в своей работы, а мы надеемся, что они точно так же могут что-то взять у нас. Это классный обмен опытами, эмоциями, а даже больше эмоций, потому что на самом деле в конце концов оказалось, что мы вообще просто наслаждались той страной, в которой мы были в Испании, и нам очень было приятно общаться с людьми из разных стран, коллегами, учителями, чудесный опыт. Мы вспоминаем до сих пор, вот как-то все впечатление.
In our students' lifestyle, I could group them into two things. The first is the activity level in school and after school, and the second thing is our conscious choices about the food that we eat. About the activity level, I can say that it has increased. Our kids are more open to trying out new sports, to doing more active things during their breaks, and also after school our kids continue to show very good results in all the sports that they're doing. And what I can say about the food choices is that our school is very supportive of our project, and in our school children receive free lunch and also some snacks during the day. And these snacks and these lunches are made by our chefs here, and they are very good for your health. They include vegetables, fruits, dairy products, meats, potatoes, and all the different products that we can name, and this makes sure that our children are eating a good, healthy and balanced diet. A good thing to say is that after the first year we saw the decrease in the BMI index in our students, which shows that we are making an improvement towards a better and healthier lifestyle for them.
тема проекта очень актуальна. Здоровый образ жизни и спорт – это то, что нам сейчас просто необходимо в условиях компьютеризации, где пропагандируются всякие различные вредные вещества, да, и очень много соблазнов у детей, очень важно дать им правильный ориентир в жизни. Поэтому, безусловно, активный образ жизни, который мы увидели в других странах, мотивирует наших ребят. Пошли в наш тренажерный зал в школе. Вот, после проекта идет, и мы пишем же о здоровом питании. Это очень важно. Большинство учащихся нашей школы после проекта задумались и о питании, и стали активнее заниматься спортом.
In our school, we want to promote active lifestyle and prevent childhood obesity. So we try to involve our children in as many active sports and active after-school clubs as possible. But apart from that, we also greatly encourage our kids to choose more health-conscious ways to travel to and from school. For example, by walking if you live in a walking distance, and also by riding a bike. And I'm happy to say that this year the activity level and the number of kids who choose to ride bikes to our school is greatly increased. We have bike racks at our schoolyard where kids can safely leave their bikes, and I think they show a great example for other kids that if others want to join and also come to school by bike, they wouldn't be alone in it. And this is a great way to implement activity into our everyday life. However, I also have to mention that our dance studios, our judo studio, and different tennis, football, and basketball teams have seen an increase in their members, and it makes me very happy that our project is making such a positive impact.
Я могу сказать про своих детей. Я же как бы с моего класса 3 детей, ребят, участвовали в проекте. И вот конкретно на опыте их могу сказать, что, во-первых, очень понравилось, это первое. Во-вторых, они готовы опять снова, вообще им хочется уже вообще активно участвовать в самых разных проектах. У них открылся уже этот любознательность, интерес и храбрость, потому что они боялись. Они изначально боялись принять. Приедет чужой ребенок, все ли они смогут организовать. Сейчас этот страх прошел, они сами съездили, они уже готовы увидеть, и это хороший пример для других. Я могу сказать по своему классу, это замечательный пример. И как раз из моего класса я сегодня провела опрос, поговорила с ребятами, я говорю, кто у нас как активно, у меня в классе вообще 80% мальчиков, мне так сложилось. И вот они в принципе, оказывается, вот как раз в тренажерный зал из моего класса человек 5 ходят час, это 8 класс. Дальше спортом много занимаются. Но и традиционно. У нас активность больше, она как бы, наверное, не игры во дворе. Вот так уже сложилось сейчас. Они ходят в секции. Или вот куда-то организованно, или в тренажерный зал, или это хоккей, или это карате. Может быть, ушла традиция играть в футбол просто во дворе, вот это, наверное, ушло. Но вот в секции различные, они ходят, им это интересно, они хотят красиво выглядеть, хочется как бы и себя как бы ощущать красиво, и задумываются, когда я говорила о здоровом питании, я была очень приятно удивлена, что они об этом знают. И о здоровой пирамиде питания, они об этом говорят в школе, они говорят об этом на проектах. Я даже, по правде говоря, начиная эту тему, была не совсем уверена, что мы вообще сможем в диалог выйти. Так они меня удивили, как они замечательно ориентируются вообще, что такое белки, белковые, диеты, питание. Замечательно, они знают, они в теме, они интересуются. А проект помогает.
In the first few months of our project, we focused on the history of sports and especially the history of the Olympic Games. And at the beginning of the year, we carried out a survey to see how much do our kids already know about this famous sport event. The results were mixed. A lot of people knew something, but almost none of them could answer all the questions right. After that, we spent several lessons in different subjects talking about these themes, about this theme, about the different sports that are involved in the Olympics, about how it is managed nowadays versus how it was done in ancient times. So in history lessons, and art lessons, and social science lessons, we discussed this subject. And after several months, we repeated the test. And it was pleasant to see that the children showed much better results in the overall knowledge. However, I think the most important task for the kids was the interviews that they did with the famous athletes in our school and in our country, in our neighborhood. A lot of the kids reached out to really famous people, which surprised even me. And these famous athletes did answer and offered their insights onto active lifestyle, onto how to reach the goals that you set for yourself, how to become successful not only in sport but also in life in general. And I think this gave our kids a lot of positive influence in deciding for themselves that they do want to live this healthy and active lifestyle, and they do want to get to know more about famous athletes, about the history of sport, and maybe even connect their future careers to this subject. Improving English skills was one of the biggest benefits that we have seen so far from our kids and also for ourselves. Our students were very cautious at first about the difficulties they will face when they will have to talk in English with their peers from other countries. However, from the first days of the project, from the first tasks that they had to carry out in English, our kids showed great improvements, and they also improved their self-esteem and the way they see themselves and each other. And they were able to do all the tasks, even with just a little bit of help from us teachers. And during mobilities, their initial fears disappeared almost completely. And even if in the first few days kids could be cautious and shy, then by the end of the activity, kids were wonderful in communication and very actively engaged in project work. But this doesn't only stop with mobilities. Our children continue to communicate with other people through different platforms, online and offline, and especially with the kids that they spend the time with in the mobility. Several of the project tasks included communicating with the kids beforehand and making several presentations together from kids from different countries. And I think this was a great activity to try to implement English language in our everyday tasks, not only when we are abroad. And these tasks have shown impact not only on our kids that are involved in the project, but also on their peers, because the students that are involved in Erasmus project, they are very active in English lessons, and they show a great example for others that you don't have to be afraid, you don't have to worry about making everything perfect and saying everything in a perfect way, but you have to be open to communication, you have to be open to learning new things, and then this learning will be enjoyable, easy, and you will try to implement it in every single part of your life. Our students and our teachers have shown a great improvement in information technology skills. It goes both for everyday life and for project work. A lot of our kids had to communicate with their peers abroad using a lot of different platforms like Facebook, WhatsApp, and different others. They use social media to spread the word about their project. Also, during the ICT lessons, our teachers have noted to us that kids are much more engaged and they want to try to make the project tasks a part of their everyday work in school. Our ICT teachers have been very supportive and keeping up with the websites and helping our children with doing presentations in PowerPoint, for example. And as the children involved in the project are from very different ages, even starting as young as the 5th grade, then our teachers also see that children want to learn much more at a much younger age. I also have to say a big thank you for the students that chose to do video presentations, because this has been a great inspiration for other students and for teachers as myself to try and learn about these new video editing softwares, about making video as such. And I think, at least for me, this has been a great benefit, because now I can use it in my everyday work on my subject also. And overall, this ICT development in our skills has helped greatly both children and us teachers. Our students have increased their self-esteem. In our project group, at least, I think immensely during the project time. I have seen them go from being shy and worrying about the communication barrier to becoming the soul of the company and the group they work at. They open up, they communicate, they express their thoughts, and sometimes when they are unable to talk in English, they use all the different means available for them to express their thoughts, express their opinions, and it is very nice to see everybody else listening to their opinion, and it gives a chance for the kids to see that their opinion does matter, and when we feel that we matter, then our self-esteem grows. And also seeing people from such different cultural backgrounds helps to see that we are all very different, and the same things can happen in different countries. So we can find both similar things amongst each other and many, many differences. And as for the teachers, the communication barrier maybe was a little bit different, because many of the teachers have learned English or German as their second language when they studied in university or school, but that was a very long time ago, and this first step to overstep our fears to start to communicate in English was maybe a little bit harder than for the students to do. However, I'm very proud of my project team, and I would say even proud of everybody in the project for being so open, so active in communication and in making sure that we all have a chance to express ourselves, to express our thoughts, to express our opinions. And for teachers, I think it was very nice to see that they still can remember the things that they learned many, many years ago, and they can use them to explore the new open Europe. During the mobilities, our teachers had a chance to see how the school day and the curriculum is organized in many different countries. And it has sparked a lot of discussion here in our school about what changes we want to make to our own curriculum. This year, a lot of changes are happening in our education system, and we want to make sure that we implement those also, and also maybe try to take the good examples from other countries and somehow make them a part of our everyday life. For example, when we were in Spain, one of the greatest things that we saw was how they work together with children with disabilities and how they are included in all the activities in the school. And for me and for many other teachers, this was one of the very, very good examples as to what we would like to see happen in our school in the future also.
Ну и хочется еще сказать о своем каком-то педагогическом опыте, потому что увидеть такие школы, это, конечно, это опыт вообще, как устроена жизнь в школе, как организована жизнь в школе, как организована система образования. И вообще это очень интересно, посмотреть на это со стороны. И приехав сюда, мы можем уже что-то понимать, в какую сторону что-то менять, что нам понравилось. А всегда нравится. В гостях всегда все нравится, поэтому кажется, вот это мы можем перенести сюда. Конечно же, сейчас понятно, когда у нас Европа открытый дом, и вообще мы сейчас есть возможность общаться с людьми на разных языках, хочется учить языки. Это очень хочется, это очень здорово. Говорить с людьми на их языке, и на английском, и на других языках. Поэтому это открывает для нас также мотивацию учить языки эти. Поэтому сколько бы ни было лет, хочется вообще говорить на разных языках. И спасибо, это проект, мы видим, для чего это тоже необходимо.
The experience that was gained during the project mobilities and the communication in between them has helped to break the communication barrier for students and for teachers. And for teachers especially, it is nice to see that teachers from different countries continue to communicate even after the mobility, to discuss different questions that came up, and nobody is worried about their English skills anymore, and they just try to do their best and improve every day a little bit by a little bit more.
Вообще, на самом деле, с каждым днем мне казалось, это становится все легче и легче. То есть вначале так получилось, что английский как-то не так, чтобы идеальный, поэтому вначале был такой легкий страх, как же буду общаться, а потом этот барьер проходит. Мы общаемся, и мы, мне кажется, нашли много друзей в мире, поэтому это благодаря проекту расширяется круг знакомых, людей, которых ты будешь узнавать и хочешь снова видеть.
Обмен добром, теплом, язык сердца и дружбы. Нет, не сложно было общаться. Мой язык гораздо ниже уровнем, чем вы, дорогие мои, но тем не менее, как-то все было замечательно. Все друг друга поднимали.
Participating in this project has greatly improved the image of our teachers in our school and the local community. Many of the schools in our surrounding neighborhood have decided to apply for Erasmus projects and have reached out to us to ask for advice and to hear about our stories and our experiences during the project. A lot of families have approached us and said a big thank you for helping their children to see the culture of Europe, to feel as a part of European culture. And I think the themes in our project have been chosen very carefully and very well, so that our children have to communicate with their parents and communicate with members of our community in order to achieve the end goal. For example, the interviews they did with the different athletes. They had to talk with their families, they had to talk with their friends, and also reach out to members of the community. And another thing that helped with the communication was the task about the different games that were played in our past, because a lot of children in our school decided to interview their parents and talk with them and then with their grandparents about how life was before for them. And I think this is a wonderful opportunity for the family to come together and be more socially active in the community in general. During the project, we tried to involve as many students and teachers as we can. A lot of the first project tasks were carried out as school-wide competitions, where children could participate regardless of their age or the language they speak, and even chose their own format. But these competitions were the ones where we saw the biggest engagement. After the first year, we have seen that the children exchange their stories about the mobilities, about different contests that they have participated in, and this helps to bring more and more students who want to participate in the project and be a part of the project team. I also have to say that our teachers are wonderful in helping us make this project a reality. Our biology, chemistry, social science, sport, English teachers, and even all the language teachers and history teachers, I can continue naming them. Everybody has helped us, and when we have a task, everybody tries to integrate part of it in their own lesson and find a way to talk about it in different settings. This could involve, for example, the games that we played and also the nutrition research that was done recently, where we discussed different products, we saw how different products affect our bodies, and children of different ages made different projects and showed their results in their own way. But I think this difference in presentation is a good thing, because everybody really has a chance to participate and to be active and to see the work being a part of something bigger and something very important for the community and school. For many of our students, this project was the first real-life experience with a different culture, and so far the results have been overwhelmingly positive. After interviewing our kids after the mobilities and different tasks where they had to work together with pupils from other schools, they tell us that the most important thing they really realized is that all the cultures are so similar, and the life of a student in different countries, in different cities, states, and so far is very, very similar. We all have similar schedules, similar way we attend school, and for the children it is very important to see that they have something in common with people all over the world. I think that being open to the multicultural dialogue is a very important part of participating in this Erasmus project, and it works both for students and for teachers. For students, it is important to listen to each other, to listen to the way people do things in other countries, in other school settings, and the tasks where the children have to work together have been a great help with this, where they have to communicate, to listen to each other, and come to the end goal. And for the teachers, during our discussions, we have seen great different techniques, many different techniques that work in all the environments, in all schools, but we also have seen a lot of things that are very specific for different cultures, and maybe this is something we have to also implement in our school. And being open to the different changes in this discussion, I think this is one of the greatest benefits of the Erasmus Plus project, that we are given a chance to see the world differently, to see the world through the eyes of the native people, from the perspective of the teachers of a different country, and we can then try to implement the positive things that we have learned into our own school career, school life, and teaching our children the best way that we can.